Iga Świątek's bagel defeat to Emma Navarro and the difficulties of changing tennis in real time. Having spoken after her last match about the relentlessness of the tennis schedule, Iga Świątek suffered a final set bagel against Emma Navarro at the China Open Wednesday. In a performance that had earlier brought back memories of some of her struggles in the second half of last year, Świątek battled back from being a breakdown in the second set, but ultimately lost by a 6-4, 4-6, 6-0 scoreline. American world number 17 Navarro returned aggressively, defended resolutely, and used changes of speed and height to extract as much as she could out of an errant Świątek in her joint biggest career win by ranking against the world number 2. In many of Świątek's matches last year, from Wimbledon onwards, she would resolutely stick to all-out aggression even if it wasn't really working. Under coach Wim Fizet, who replaced Tomasz Wiktorowski last October, Świątek has been much better at using her innate movement and counterpunching skills to change the course of matches. But Wednesday saw the default to aggression in the face of adversity that Wiktorowski had introduced re-emerge like a ghost. Świątek frequently berated herself after going for too much and making an unforced error in the face of her opponent's dogged retrieval skills. She hit 70 in all, the second most in her career. Navarro's game is, in many ways, a less devastating version of Świątek's, but the world number 2 did not force the American to play beyond her level often enough. She has spoken several times this year about the difficulty of replacing one version of tennis on top of another in real time, and those difficulties re-emerged in Beijing. There is a similarity with Coco Gauff's remaking her serve during the US Open and the variance in her double fault rate during the tournament. The difference is that Świątek's changes are across various strokes rather than just one, and so it can be less easy to see how they are taking hold. Świątek had said at a news conference Monday that she may have to choose some tournaments and skip them even though they are mandatory in order to remain ready to compete at the highest level. WTA, with all these mandatory rules, they made this pretty crazy for us, she continued. I don't think any top player will actually be able to achieve this playing the 6-500 tournaments. It's just impossible to squeeze it in the schedule. I think we have to be smart about it, not really unfortunately care about the rules, and just think what's healthy for us. Yeah, it's tough. The WTA released a statement saying that athlete welfare is always a top priority and emphasized the $400 million increase in player compensation that the new rules on mandatory events have underpinned. Świątek arrived in Beijing straight from winning the Korea Open on September 21st, and, underlining the non-stop nature of the tour, will compete at next week's Wuhan Open. She'll hope to close the gap on world number 1 Aryabina Sabalenka, having missed the opportunity to make major inroads this week. Based on points for just this year, Sabalenka has a lead of 1,457 points and will return to the court in Wuhan, having not played since winning the US Open almost a month ago. Navarro, buoyed by her best win of the season, will face Ukraine's Marta Kostyuk or American number 5 seed Jessica Pegula in the China Open quarterfinals Friday.